Welcome to another episode of The Wealth Defenders with Terry Cox. He's the man who wants to help you get your money right and have the retirement of your dreams. And with nearly 20 years in this game, he can definitely get you there. Consumer advocate Bruce Rosenblum here with you as well. And of course, longtime viewers of the program already know we have leads here on no cost, no obligation financial reviews. More on that in just a bit. But first, I want to introduce the man himself, Mr. Terry Cox. Terry, it's great to be back with you.
Bruce, how you doing, my man?
Doing good, my friend. Rocking and rolling. Is it officially summertime? I think it is.
I think it is, man. You can now wear white after Labor Day.
See, oh man, I need to change my shirt now. God, I've definitely broken that rule. I feel bad about that. I forgot that's an old tradition, isn't it?
It is. It is. That's an old. I don't know if that still means anything. It doesn't in Arizona, that's for sure.
Right. It's a real deep South tradition. And I can't recall the history behind it. That would be interesting to look up. We got to find out the history about that and talk about that on the next show, because I know somebody out there is knowing the answer. They can correct us on that stuff.
There you go. But absolutely.
Yes, it is summertime, and I know we recently talked about music this summer, and we're talking about hanging by the pool and having the radio on or some kind of tunes on. It's a good vibe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who's on your playlist this summer?
Well, it's funny. Of course, I'm a guitarist. I like the classic stuff. I like the AC/DC and the Bon Jovi and stuff. But I was having a summertime moment recently, and I got to tell you this story here. Okay. I had just been to this downtown festival in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I was having a great day. It was an art festival, and I said, you know what? This has been a great day. Let me go and grab a pizza at this outdoor place and sit and have this pizza outside and read my book. So I rolled to this place. It was the perfect summer evening, Terry. And I say that without a hint of exaggeration. The fireflies, it was twilight, the fireflies were out and they were buzzing around. And I was right across the street from an old-timey theater that was lit up in neon. So you can imagine the scene here, and the temperature, it was perfect. Yeah. It was like 75 degrees, and I had a pizza that I had ordered on its way to me. And on the speakers outside, Hall & Oates starts playing. And I said, man, this is great. This could not be any more perfect. This is a summertime moment. But to my severe disappointment, the kids running the bar immediately turned off my Hall & Oates and switched it to some kind of I'd never heard of it. It was some kind of weird dubstep reggae. It was god awful, Terry. It really was awful music. Eventually, my pizza comes out, and I say, "What, guys? The music was so great. Why did you change it?" Like, we have to work here, so we put it on what we like. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, that's harsh, man.
They killed the vibe. They really did kill the vibe. So they, talking about summertime music. I don't know what kind of music they're on this summer, but it wasn't good.
It wasn't that. Oh man, sorry to hear that, pal.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, about the music in this day and age. It's just bad, isn't it?
It's pretty bad. You got to dig. So we've talked about some of my favorites.
Yes.
But have you heard a group called Music Travel Love?
Music Travel Love. That doesn't ring a bell.
MTL is
MTL.
So I was listening to Kenny Chesney has a Sirius radio station. And he plays some different stuff. Yeah. So there are two guys. They're brothers. I believe they're from Canada. They both play the acoustic guitar. Okay. And they have the little drum track dealy thing in the background that they can play. And they do some great stuff. They do originals, they do covers. But they just released a new song for the summer called Amen for Women. Okay. Which is it's in heavy rotation on my summer playlist this year. Ooh,
Music Travel Love, you said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Look them up. Amen to Women, Music Travel Love. I'm going to check them out. Shout out to Music Travel Love. If you're watching, we're definitely listening to you. And it's got the endorsement from the Wealth Defender himself, Terry Cox. So if it's good enough for you, Terry, I got to check it out now too, because I do like acoustic trios.
Yeah. I'm a little rocky, a little country, a little beachy. I like to throw some Southern gospel in there once in a while as well.
That's it. And I really want to cruise down Friday evening on like a Sunset Strip and play Summer of '69. To me, that's a quintessential summer song right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great one right there.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong when you play that kind of stuff in the summertime. But it seems like you can go wrong these days planning for retirement. It's a nice little segue right there, huh?
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. I know today we're going to be talking about some mistakes that you out there can make, mistakes you might be making already. Because, I mean, let's be honest, nobody wants to really fumble the bag here when you're getting close to the end zone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you spend a lifetime working and planning and saving. Make sure you're making plans once you get into that retirement red zone, so that you don't fumble the ball there at the end, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because there's no loss like losing when you are so close to winning.
Absolutely.
If you can't get off the starting line, that's not a big deal, because there's no you can try again. But when you're so close to the end and you botch it, that's the most painful kind of loss. So we really want to help people to avoid kicking themselves for making the wrong moves in the critical red zone right there, because
and the biggest problem I see with people that fumble the ball at the end is they don't tell anybody what their plans are. They decide they're going to retire, but they don't tell anybody. Maybe they tell their spouse or whatever, but they don't tell anybody else, and they don't make any changes to their portfolio. So you could have a very aggressive portfolio or a growth type of portfolio that's done extremely well, and you've got a lot of growth in it. But at some point, when you're getting close to retirement, you need to de-risk, right? So, and a lot of people don't think about that. They think this is going to last forever, and then all of a sudden something happens. You never know when you wake up in the morning what kind of news that we're going to hear that's going to affect the market.
Yeah, right.
And you just think of what's happened over the last decade, the last 5 years. From COVID to interest rates to tariffs, 3 times in the last 5 years, we've had massive market volatility. So if you're not thinking about that, going, hey, you know what, anything could happen. I've done very well. I need to de-risk, put some money on the sidelines, or at least create a personal pension, or, go to something that's income oriented, so that you can continue to meet your day-to-day needs, no matter what happens in the market once you step into retirement.
Right. Would you say then that it's the people who want to lone wolf it, those people end up with the most problems because they don't tell anybody and they think I can do it all myself?
Yes. Yeah, I would say the answer is yes. And you know what? A lot of the lone wolfers, they're very good. They're very smart. There's nothing wrong with taking that approach. But at some point, you've got to ask yourself the question, okay, where am I? How old am I today?
Yeah, right.
When am I going to retire? How close am I to retirement? And what should I do right now? Because like I said, you never know what you're going to wake up to the next morning, right? So yeah, if you can take those gains, maybe diversify a little bit more, get some dividend paying stocks, something that's going to generate income, be less volatile, and not to screw things up at the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This sounds like a trap that I would fall into, because I want to be really independent when it comes to money management. But even I know that it's good to have a subject matter expert in your corner, and there's no substitute for experience. I don't have that experience. I really don't. And I'm the first to admit that. But again, there's this idea in my head that I want to do it all myself, but that's not a good mentality. And I know you're setting me straight on this on a monthly basis here. Yeah.
And you just have to have a plan. I mean, if you're going to do it yourself, lay out a plan, lay out the calendar saying, okay, what's my drop dead date? When do I want to walk away from all this? And make plans accordingly. Because I've seen several times, we're coming up on our 19th anniversary in the business. And over the last, 2 decades, I've heard some horrific stories of the people that didn't tell anybody, whether it was, 9/11 happened or the financial crisis happened.
Sure.
You never know what you're going to wake up to. So, I mean, if you're on this path and you're cruising along, every so often the older you get, you need to make tweaks to your portfolio just to make sure that you're de-risking as you go along.
Right. And it seems like people, they want to think of retirement as a permanent vacation. And I guess it can be, but you have to plan for that in order for that to be a reality. Otherwise, you might fall into the trap that, 7 in 10 Americans end up falling into, having to work in retirement. That's that's something that I myself want to avoid, because I know some people, we were talking about this, some people, they want to work and they've got passion projects, but for me, that's not for me. If I'm checking out, I'm checking out. I'm done.
That's right. That's right. Set the circus down. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But, and that goes along to the planning aspect that we bring into our office and we use with our clients. And we talk about this every year. When we sit down for our annual reviews, we talk about where are you, what's changed, has anything changed, has jobs changed, status changed, beneficiaries, whatever. And we just want to make sure that they're still on track and there's not too much risk in the portfolio or unneeded risk.
Sure.
Obviously, some people like risk. They like the high flying, stocks of Tesla or Amazon or whoever. Crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But think about your portfolio and what percentage do you want to have earmarked to go into like the crazy aggressive stuff.
Yeah, right.
And if you're okay with that, that's awesome. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the core of your portfolio, you need to be rock solid. You need to have, those big blue chip dividend payers. You need to have something that's solid, that's not going to go sideways on you. And, over time, even big companies can start to deteriorate and you just need to pay attention to what's going on in the market and the investments that you have.
Yeah, very much so. And like you've told me, you got to plan for the long game, because retirement, it's going to last longer than you think. 25 to 30 years. And I had this epiphany the other day, because I remember you said it's a long game, 25 to 30 years. And that's 3 decades. Yeah. And I'm in my late 30s. So I'm imagining being retired for as long as I've been alive. It's like, wow, that's a lot of years. I mean, 3 decades to just be by yourself and do your own thing. Yeah, that's great. But then you got to, how are you going to fuel that? How are you going to supply your needs that entire time?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're healthier. We're living longer.
Yeah.
So you got to, if you're going to have a healthy lifestyle, have a healthy portfolio to go along with it. Right.
I like that. Healthy lifestyle, healthy portfolio. Because you can't, if you're neglecting one, you're probably neglecting the other.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So, take the time. In what we do with our clients, we sit down, and you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum about the asset map that we use, but it is such an amazing tool, because it's like a one-page spreadsheet. In the middle of this page, there's you, and then the surrounding tiles are all of your assets, your retirement plans, your Roth IRAs, your insurance, whatever you have, it's all there. And from there, we can model off of, when do you want to retire? Dream big. Tell me what it is. And see if we can get you there. And if there's and the earlier that we find out what your dreams are and when you want to accomplish them, the better chance you have of success, because you're giving yourself enough runway to either save the amount that you need or create the amount of income that you need to get you there. Because if you're going to spend a lifetime working and doing what you have to do, when you get into retirement, you shouldn't have to sacrifice things. You shouldn't have to give up things, Right. Don't let that happen.
Right, because we spend our entire lives having to compromise, and retirement, that should be the period in your life where you don't have to compromise. It's all you. Everything is for you, and you can finally say, you know what, I'm done compromising. I made it, and I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor because I planned for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whether it's hobbies or charities or whatever it looks like. And, I've had a few cases where people weren't prepared for retirement mentally, and they stepped into it and they're like, no, I've got to go back to work. I've had several people that went back to work just for like 2 or 3 years to kind of wrap their brain around what retirement looks like.
Right.
And most people have no problem with it.
Sure.
But some people do, these guys that wrote their first business plan when they were, 14 years old, and they've just been going at it. And then they're like, what, I'm not doing anything. What does that mean?
Yeah, right. So, it's a hard pill to swallow. And it makes me think of an article that I saw the other day. This article was about a nice lady. She was having regrets in her retirement because she noticed that her health was deteriorating, and she was saying that she wished she had taken trips earlier in her retirement when she still had the energy and the throughput, because now she was later on in the game, and she couldn't bring herself to do it. So she was always making compromises, and now when it was time to just totally do it her way, she couldn't do it. It's like she missed the boat.
Oh, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's people that happens to. So my mission is to reach as many people that I can and say, hey, man, this American dream, it's alive and it's for you. Yeah. You know, anybody can have it, you know, and you just gotta, it's just planning. That's all it is. It's just a plan. And, you know, you've heard me say that really the only economy that matters is yours. Yours is the only economy that you can manage or can control. Everything else is out of our control. But if we can do what we can with what we have, yeah, man, you're going to be just fine.
I like this. This idea, your own personal economy, because that means you're investing in yourself. Every time you save some money, every time you meet with a financial advisor like you are making moves for yourself. And this is one of the few facets in life where you are really in control. It's like how I think about fitness, you know, because in life, like I said, a lot of things are out of our control. We can't control the politics. We can't control this and that. But when I'm out there running in the morning, there's nothing to stop me. I can go as fast as I want. I can expend as much energy as I want. It's all me. It's all on me. I love that freedom. And it seems like it's the same in the finance game. You are in control here. You can do whatever you want when it comes to investing and setting yourself up for success down the line. That's why it's so great to have somebody like Terry in your corner, because Terry, you're helping people every day get their money right.
Yeah, because it's different for everybody. I mean, you set down 10 different people and ask them what their dream for retirement is, you're going to get 10 different answers.
That's it.
You know, and so it kind of drives me crazy sometimes when I'm watching finance shows and you see these guys make these big blanket statements that may or may not apply to their audience. You know, it depends on who it is, you know?
That's right.
And so sometimes I get clients that come in and they're like, hey, I saw so-and-so on television and they're saying this, that, and the other thing. The one thing that you have to remember, we're in a highly regulated business, right? So we can't say things like guarantee and, you know, all this kind of stuff too often. So for guys to be able to go on TV and do that, they have to surrender their license. Right. And so when they're filing their taxes and it comes down to what their employment is, they're entertainers. And they're very, very knowledgeable. I'm not knocking anything that, but at the end of the day, you can't make blanket statements that apply to everybody because it doesn't. You know, everybody's different. Everybody's got different goals and desires.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's the beautiful part of it. This tailoring the plan to the individual, because like you said, everybody's different and everybody, you know, wants what they want and everybody deserves to have the victory that they can conceptualize. But
absolutely,
like we talked about, not having a plan and not being able to conceptualize that winning end state, that is a big mistake, and that's a mistake that we try to mitigate here. That and also the healthcare stuff as well. But we can talk about that on the next show, because I know, God, we've covered so little, but there's so much more to cover. I tell you. Yeah. I think we'll have to, you know, pick up on this same topic next episode and talk through some more mistakes. But is there anything else the people should know right now, Terry, before we wrap up for this month?
There's a lot of noise out there right now, Bruce, and we just got to learn how to compartmentalize, right? Okay. And what really applies to you and what doesn't. So your portfolio, it should be its own entity, right? What you hear with the news and the noise, don't let it affect your portfolio decisions. Because if you get out, now you've got a new set of problems. When do you get back in, and at what price? So, you know, stay the course. And it's easier said than done. I know that. But you know, if you're having any questions or struggles, talk to somebody. Call our office for crying out loud, and we'll talk to you.
Yes.
Yeah. And, but yeah, I mean, and we set aside appointments every week for our listeners, and they're no cost, no obligation. So, you know, if you need a sounding board on anything, we're here for you.
Absolutely. This stuff, it's for you out there. We're going to go ahead and put the number on the screen right now. Call that for a no cost, no obligation review, and also check out TDC.financial for the calculator and other lists of services on there, because Terry, you offer so much for people, not just about retirement plans. It's everything else, isn't it?
That's right. People who are looking for tax-free income or personal pensions or whatever the case may be, we've got a very large tool chest these days.
Love that. Well, shall we pick up the mistakes on the next episode then?
That sounds like a plan, my friend.
Ooh, we're going to leave you on a cliffhanger then for this one. We will be back next month with more mistakes and how you can mitigate them. But for now, Terry and I, we got to sign off. We will catch you all next time on the Wealth Defenders.
See ya. Thanks, Bruce.